But then it's easy.
But, Coach, you want to start with an opening statement, and then we'll take some questions.
Thanks, Hopes. That was just riveting. You know, I think our guys really had a great off season, and everything that this team went through last year. I thought we were playing our best basketball at the time, and we had a 30-day layoff, and we just kind of like stumbled all the way through into the NCAA tournament. But at the same time, we're 20 minutes away from that second weekend. So, right now, today's practice 11. So after today, we only got 19 more practices. 3 of those practices will be preparing for those first 2 opponents, and then our third opponent, Tennessee. We'll start bringing in officials here in the next couple days. Probably 4 or 5 of those practices coming up. So, you know, yeah, we're playing a great schedule, but this team deserves to be playing the schedule that we scheduled. One thing that you can control is who you play in November and December. So every head coach in the country has a responsibility to do that. And, you know, January, February, that's done by the league. So I would be doing a disservice if we'd be playing any other type of schedule with the team we have coming back.
Is this the toughest one you've ever had? I'm sure it is, right?
It's got to be, I think, from beginning to end. There were some tough ones when we were in the Big East just because of the strength of the conference. You had 16 teams, and 8, 9 of them went to postseason play and to the NCAA tournament, and the next 4 or 5 went to the NIT. So it was a different type of schedule. But I think from top to bottom, this is probably the strongest November and December we've ever played.
You picked up the defending national champion. I'm curious how that came to be, because originally they weren't part of the plan.
No, but, you know, they asked us to, paid for us to stay for 3 days in the Bahamas. It was tough to turn down. No, it was a great opportunity for us. I think we're going to get 3 good games in the Battle of Atlantis, and then we're going to be off, and then we'll have 2 days to prepare for Stanford. And anytime you get an opportunity to play a team like that on a neutral floor, we're going to get 3 other really good ones down there. But you know, it came about. I guess we were the only team that wanted to play them, so it worked out well.
Coach,
Yep.
First of all, thank you for doing this today.
No problem.
You've had a lot of success at USF, but last season with the regular season championship and the conference tournament championship kind of broke new ground. Can you talk about having expectations placed on the program now, and if that changes things or not inside the program?
For me and for our players, it doesn't change it because we haven't talked one thing about last year and defending the title or defending the conference championship. I think when you start to talk about those things, it lose focus on the task at hand. You know, this is a veteran group. They know what it takes to get back to where we were, even further along. So we just talked about getting better individually in the off season, in the summer, and in the preseason. And you know, you talk to any one of my players, we haven't brought up the, you know, defending the regular season title. If we do what we have to do every day, that stuff will take care of itself. You know, I think our guys know what we have in front of us in November and December, and why we scheduled the way we scheduled was to get a much better seed than a 7, 8, or 9 seed. Right? You get a better seed, got an opportunity to host first, second round here at home. You do that, that gives you a pretty good chance to get to that second weekend.
Especially just, you know, on the sheer amount of games that you guys are playing. Because last year you played only 4 non-conference games. How important is it for them just to be able to get in a rhythm?
Yeah, and you know what? And we were supposed to play in this tournament last year. So we had a pretty good schedule last year. We had Baylor and Mississippi State. We're in the Battle of Atlantis. We had Texas scheduled as well. And that didn't work out. So besides that Battle of Atlantis and Stanford, West Virginia and Ole Miss, going on the road at VCU, who won their league. High Point won their league. We got them here at home. UT Arlington's got a brand new coach. We're going on the road. So those are going to be net games that are going to help us, without a doubt.
remember what happened in the second half, or in the first half of the last game last year, foul trouble, Betty and Shea, and was that part of the reason looking to bring in Dulcie? Whether it was or not, how big is her addition going to be?
Well, at the time when she became available, you know, I mean, this is a young lady that she stays healthy. She's going to play basketball for a long time and has the ability to get drafted. You know, I think we had 4 guys that made all conference teams last year and the 6th man of the year. Well, Dulcie was 2nd team all conference. Ariel Wilson's bringing in a kid that started every game in her first 2 years at Memphis. Now you don't have to rely on Elisa Pinzan playing 37, 38 minutes a game, right? So I think she'll be healthier in January, February. We got 3 really good wings returning. I think Sarah Guerrero's made the biggest leap and improvement from last year to this year. She's going to find a way to get on the floor the way that she's been practicing. Now your front line with Dulcie, Shea, Betty, you bring in Patience Williams as well. Pretty deep in there. Tough job is, you know, we got to find 8, 9 guys that is going to be a really good rotation, and then the other 4 or 5 to cheer like hell.
Getting Shea and Betty back.
Well, that's true. You know, I thought one thing about our team last year, you know what? Reason why we were so successful, everybody embraced their role. There's no possible way you're going to be able to play 12, 15 guys in a basketball game. So, you know, we won 19 games last year, lost in the second round of the tournament. We had 2 guys signed pro, right, and another 3 transfer, right? And we had a really good year. Well, that could be the same thing this year with the transfer portal, right? It's going to be tough. I mean, we're good, but we got a lot of talent on this team, and we only lose 2 of these guys. You only lose Betty and Shea. You got everybody coming back. We're going to sign 3 really, really good ones in November. So, but that's what good programs do, and that's where our program's at right now.
Getting Shea and Betty back, I mean, after the season, was that pretty consensus that they were going to come back, or?
You know what? I didn't talk to them at all throughout the year. You know, I think one thing that, you know, we don't do any spring workouts or anything like that because we just go so far into the season. You know, and I gave those guys a couple weeks off and just wanted to see where their heads were at, right? And there was a lot of uncertainty where Betty was going to go in the draft, and the overseas market with COVID and everything just wasn't the best time to go out. So it was perfect for them.
Coach, there was a discussion about a week or so ago about having simultaneous Final Fours at the same location. What were your thoughts about that?
Well, yeah. Corey Close is the new WBCA president, and now I'm very, very grateful and humbled that now, you know, I just recently got named on the board. There were a lot of, you know, I think a lot of things that happened in the women's tournament brought a lot of things in our game to light, right? And the need to really evaluate our tournament from a perception standpoint, an equity standpoint, what we're doing for the student athlete experience. Myself, I'm not in favor of having the men's and women's at the same site. It's just 2 totally different fan bases. There's not many cities in the country that can handle 2, you know, the amount of hotel rooms and convention centers and everything like that. So I think that our tournament can stand on its own. It was unbelievable what the city of San Antonio did last year. Our players and the staffs and the student athletes couldn't enjoy the Final Four like you could enjoy the Final Four because we were just sequestered the whole time, and we just got out of the hotel to go practice, to play, or go get tested for COVID. So I think there's some really good ideas about revenue sharing now, like units that could come up in women's basketball. The WNIT may be treated a little differently, like the NIT is treated on the men's side. Us going to 68 teams, would be, I think, an equitable, allowing 4 more teams to go to the NCAA tournament, which the men have had for a long time. So I think it's brought up a lot of positive conversations. I thought when you look at the amount of viewerships and not doing the wraparound coverage in just one game on the different networks, I think really changed the landscape of our tournament as well. So I think there's a lot of good conversations, a lot of good things headed down the pipeline.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
How am I doing? I think I've lost like 20 pounds. I just got to keep it down. No, I'm doing good. I'm really excited. This group's going to be fun to coach. Went through some health issues in the summer, but thankfully got through that stuff. I'm definitely taking care of my body, eating differently than I did in the past. I turned 50 in November, so that's going to be difficult, but we'll see. Turning 50 in the Bahamas isn't a bad place to turn 50.
All right, we good? All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you, guys.